All right, students, let's go over how to write and use FATT sentences. Now, we use FATT sentences to summarize or cite the sources we read. We're going to use this in pretty much all our skills. You can use a FATT sentence as your cite in your ACE acronym for short answers. You can use FATT sentences in your DBQs as the evidence distribution of summarization. But you could just use FATT sentences pretty much in anything that you're trying to explain. It's just a great skill to have, but we're also going to use it in AP. So what is a FATT sentence? Well, FATT sentences are a method to summarize a main idea of a source. They can also be used to focus on specific evidence that supports your claim, like the ACE acronym, and also how you're going to use it in your DBQ. FATT sentences are also used as concrete details in Jane Schaefer writings or to summarize and give evidence about a source in an essay. You can write a FATT sentence 4 different ways. The 3 easy ways are to use a title, author, or text first. The hard way is to use the focus first. So what do you mean title, author, focus, text type, and all these different things? Well, all parts of the FATT sentence make up the one sentence of what a FATT sentence is. These are just the 4 things that you put in the sentence. You are always going to have a focus. What is the focus or main idea of this piece of evidence? What is it about? And then you are also going to have at least 2 of the 3 of these things. So you could either have author title text type, or author text type at least. But it's always best to use all 3 of these in your sentence if you can. The author is just who wrote the piece that you're looking at. The title is the title of the piece, and the text type is like what type of text is this? Is this an online article? Is this a graph? What is this? What are you looking at that you're trying to describe? So we are going to use a FATT sentence trying to explain this article, The History of Meatballs by Ali Turnberg. Now, this can be done really easy, really quickly, but before we read it, let's also identify the author, title, and text type. Well, the author is easy, right? That's Ali Turnberg. We see that at the top. You could also find this in the source if you're doing a DBQ. You could find the title there as well as History of Meatballs. And then the text type is an online article. We see that there, but you could also find that in your sources on your DBQ as well. Now let's read this article in order to find the focus. While the true origin of today's meatball is unknown, scholars believe the closest relative is a dish known as kofta, which came from the Persians. Kofta is a dish made from minced or ground meat, chicken, beef, lamb, pork, or a combination, that's mixed with rice or lentils. The Persians passed the dish along to the Arabs as evidence in early Arabic cookbooks. From there, it traveled along trade routes to Greece, North Africa, and Spain. Fast forward to today, and almost every culture has its own version of the meatball. So, did meatballs become a dish associated with Italian food? While you're sure to find meatballs paired with spaghetti on the menu of just about any Italian restaurant in the US, you'll have a harder time finding them in Italy. That's because they're often thought of as a dish only made and served in the home. In Italy, they're known as polpettes, and they're typically smaller in size than their American counterparts and served sans a pasta and sauce. Spaghetti and meatballs didn't become a thing until the 19th and 20th centuries when Italian immigrants came to the United States and began making polpettes as an affordable way to feed their families, serving them with spaghetti, the most inexpensive type of pasta, and marinara, made from canned tomatoes. So if you were following along with this article, you see that the focus was that meatballs originated in Persia and became famous when Italian immigrants in the U.S. cooked this dish as an affordable meal. Okay, that is the focus. So how do we write a FATT sentence that summarizes the article we just read? Well, again, there's 4 different ways you could write it. You could start off with the focus, author, title, or text. Let's take a look at a FATT sentence that would focus on the focus first. For example, if you're writing a FATT sentence or trying to summarize this article using the focus first, you would say that meatballs originated in Persia and became famous when Italian immigrants in the US cooked this dish as an affordable meal. As mentioned in the article, there is my text type, History of Meatballs. There's my title by Ali Turnberg, and that is my author. Now let's take a look at the FATT sentence on this article that starts with the author first. Ali Turnberg's article, there's a text type, History of Meatballs, there's a title, explained, and here's my focus. Meatballs originated in Persia and became famous when Italian immigrants in the US cooked this dish as an affordable meal. Now let's deal with our title first. History of Meatballs by Ali Turnberg explained that meatballs originated in Persia and became famous when Italian immigrants in the US cooked this dish as an affordable meal. And then lastly, our text type. In the article, History of Meatballs by Ali Turnberg explained that meatballs originated in Persia and became famous when Italian immigrants in the US cooked this dish as an affordable meal. Now you guys notice that these are just summaries. The focus right now are just summaries of this. Now what your real focus is going to be is whatever is the evidence towards your claim, and whether you're writing an essay or using the ACE acronym. Whatever your focus is, it's going to want to give evidence towards your claim. So remember that. Right now, we're just summarizing the source. But if you use a FATT sentence in your essay or your ACE acronym, use it to support your claim. Focus on the specific evidence that supports your claim as your focus. Okay, so what you guys should be doing now is going back to your FATT sentence practice and doing a FATT sentence on both of these articles. First, identify the focus, author, title, and text. And then secondly, write your FATT sentence, whether you want to focus on any of the 4 aspects of a FATT sentence first. And then do that for the second article as well.